Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is just Moz Plz, and today I'm going to be doing a quick video on the Khabarovsk, which is the legendary Soviet/Russian destroyer. Just recently finished up the Bureau project on this one for me. I'm sure people have been had this, but figured since I just got it, I would kind of go over it and show a pretty recent game I had in it. For the upgrades, we got main battery mod 2, steering gears mod 2, steering gears mod 3, and then gunfire control system mod 2. As far as the loadout is concerned, this one actually gets access to a heal, a repair party, but prefer smoke generator, just, kind of the normal. For commander, we're running Trubetskoy, we're using Soundwave and Mordov as the inspirations. Perk slot 1, Observant Rage. Perk slot 2, Mortar. Perk slot 3, Playing with Fire. And 4, we got Smoke on the Water, with the legendary being Unstoppable, although I probably should switch it over to Leviathan. Alright, so I'm not even gonna lie. It took me a couple games to kind of get used to this. Kind of different compared to the traditional roles of destroyers, and it took me a minute to kind of get the hang of that. This other destroyer was being toxic this entire game, by the way. But yeah, so we are just starting this game. I kind of already found a pretty good spot behind these islands. I'm gonna be using this cover. Des Moines, you can see where it's at. I'm immediately going to be starting to lob the HE over the cover. Fire rate on this thing is pretty ridiculous, and with that playing with fire perk, we are going to be starting a lot of fires. Someone spots another Khabarovsk out there in the open, so I kind of switch targets, prioritizing that one. Obviously makes much more sense. Get a fire lit on him, and I mean, we're already on 5 fires in this game, and it's been about 20 seconds worth of gameplay. 6 fires. This thing, seriously, on another level when it comes to HE spam. Popped the smoke just because I knew that their whole push on this side, I would be able to, from where I'm sitting, pretty much rain down on them. So I'm chilling. I'm not really playing traditional destroyer role here of scouting, and I'm fairly certain that's what that other destroyer was getting salty about, the Elbing. But I'm still on him. I mean, 6 fires, 20,000 damage. If anything, we're burning people's repair parties and fire extinguishers. Another 2 fires. We're at 8. 25,000 damage, and we're going to be packing on crazy amounts of damage this game. I don't necessarily know. I don't watch a lot of gameplay on this game, but as far as damage games are concerned, at least for in this ship, since I just got it, this is easily my highest damage game. Khabarovsk pops back up. We don't necessarily land that shot, but that's fine. That's fine. Obviously, I was a little upset that I couldn't seal the deal on my kill there, but whatever. So we're back in action on the Des Moines and the Yamato now, and we're just popping shots at pretty much every opportunity we can. I really like this ship, although I think to say that it's niche, at least the way that I have it set up right here. I'm not running like twist and track. To say that it's a real niche role is an understatement, because not very often do you find opportunities for for getting set up like this. But in this case, took advantage of that Elbing spotting, and they stayed within the range. This thing, for a destroyer We're talking like 13 kilometers out. So he's requesting assistance again, telling him to just chill and shut up. Push up to get within range, which I was already doing before he spammed that. And so we're just basically going to get up here on this corner and reposition to rinse and repeat. Got 11 fires in already. Now, I don't know how many people, went for this legendary ship, but I kind of grinded out the Tashkent, and I liked playing them. I liked playing basically the Nevny and the Tashkent. Felt great. I don't necessarily know the majority of the consensus there, but I felt like as far as gunboats were concerned, they were pretty top notch. And I remember around the time I was playing the Nevny, there was a tier 5 arena 1v1 that was going on, or tier 6, whatever tier the Nevny's in. It was a 1v1 event going on, and I just remember playing just that as a destroyer and just absolutely dogging people. It was great. And I figured the Khabarovsk probably played similarly, just a way souped up better version. And I was right. Even the destroyer versus destroyer play without twist and track, I mean, you keep a distance to about 10, 11 kilometers out, which is most other destroyers' max range, you were winning those engagements 9 times out of 10. And we're basically just carouseling around this island with the Yamato. He can't hit us, and we have yet to stop hitting him. It's not a good time for that guy. 13 fires, we're at 92,000 damage, it's still counting. And I'm basically just gonna follow this along until I can not only shoot the Yamato, but I shoot the rest of his team. There's Witherer. I believe that's what, 60, 70, 75,000 damage of fire or flooding damage. Nonetheless, we are just floating cancer is all we are. Now, I do think had the Des Moines kind of hunkered down a little bit better, he probably could have kept me from doing all this. But seeing as he didn't, it's pretty much open season on all these battleships. I had another smoke I popped here just because I didn't know if they would go on the aggressive and try to push me out of this spot. To a certain extent, they do, but in vain. I mean, this God, I can't stand when this stuff happens to me. But I've said this a couple times. It feels so good just doing it. It feels so good doing it. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like out of all the legendary ships, the people that play, the majority of the time, really bad players. I'm not saying there aren't any good ones, but if a really bad player is playing in a legendary ship, I feel like 99.9% of the time they're in a Yamato. They're in a Yamato 99.9% of the time. I didn't realize, because that was the first one I went for too. I imagine most people probably had the same thought process of like, oh man, that giant super battleship, let's get that one first. And that's the reason why, because some of the just ridiculous play I see by people in Yamatos is enough to just kind of question how long it took me to get through that Bureau project, because apparently everyone else has it and their toddlers do too, because this community already isn't necessarily the brightest bulb in the box, but sometimes the stuff you see is just insane. So anyway, we basically just circled around that outside of the island, have not stopped shooting except for this brief moment so we can cross without getting spotted. Reposition behind the island. Wait for them to get spotted again. I'm kind of shooting just because I feel like they're there still. But, we're just gonna hang tight for a moment. We're up to 152,000 damage with 18 fires. There's their little battleship flotilla. Just target practice. They are shooting back at me. The French ship is I would go out on a limb and say he's the best one out of that little trio right there. He's the only one that seemed to have really tried responding to this absolute slaughter. There's the high caliber. And just absolutely whittling them down to nothing. To nothing. I felt like, there's arsonists. I felt like basically since their destroyers were nowhere to be found after that Khabarovsk, I don't know where the other destroyer was. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what the other destroyer was. But since they were there, look at this spam fest. Look at this spam fest. Since they weren't there, it just gave me free reign. Free reign to just do this. I feel bad, kinda, but not really. Just as many times as this happens to me. But, Khabarovsk, yeah. I'm curious to try to play it in more of a knife fighty kind of build. I run, obviously, Trubetskoy, who gets twist and track. I don't know if Anton Gurin gets it either, but I probably would try to play a few games of this ship, mainly doing the destroyer things, like capping and, 1v1 encounter destroyer. The only problem is I feel like that the gun handling and the range on the guns comes at a bit of a trade-off in that you have the detectability of like a small cruiser. Anyhow, there you have it. Last enemy battleship sunk. We're looking at 209,440 damage, several medals. Me and that other destroyer, the Elbing, kind of hard carried that game. Anywho, definitely appreciate you checking out the video, checking out my channel. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on the socials, add me on console. We could division up, play together, play other games, doesn't matter. All that Who Shot John. But that is it for today. I will see you in the next one. Later.